Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Jaya. Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nichai Go. Hari Bo, Nichai Go, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nichai Go, Hari Bo. Go Premanande. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki, Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, Shri Gaurani Ki, Jai. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for drumming and everything. Put my feet down, my knees are hurting, sorry. Bad knees. Getting old. Okay, so we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We're on the 16th chapter today, and we're on text 8. We'll just recite the invocation mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we're on 16th chapter, entitled Divine and Demoniac Natures, and we're on text 8. We'll just recite the Sanskrit. Hasyacham apritastitante Jagat ahar anivasharam Aparaspara samputam Kim anyat kam hoitikam asatyam apritastitam te jagadahar anishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kim anyat kam hoitikam. Would anyone like to have a go? Asyatam pratishtante Jagadagurishwaram Asparama Sambhutam Kimanyakam Hoitakam Asparatam Asparate Jagadahur Anishwaram Aparaspara Sambhutam Kimayada Asatyam unreal Apratistam without foundation Te they Jagat the cosmic manifestation Ahu say Anishwaram with no controller Aparaspara without cause Sambhutam arisen Kim Anyat there is no other cause Kama Hoitikam it is due to lust only. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say that it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. The demoniac conclude that the world is phantasmagoria. There is no cause and effect, no controller, no purpose. Everything is unreal. They say that this cosmic manifestation arises due to chance, material action and reaction. They do not think that this world was created by God or a certain purpose. They have their own theory that the world has come about in its own way and that there is no reason to believe that there is a God behind it. For them there is no difference between spirit and matter, and they do not accept the Supreme Spirit. Everything is matter only, and the whole cosmos is supposed to be a mass of ignorance. According to them, everything is void, and whatever manifestation exists is due to our ignorance in perception. They take it for granted that all manifestations of diversity is a display of ignorance, just as in a dream we may create so many things which actually have no existence. So when we are awake, we shall see that everything is simply a dream. But factually, although the demons say that life is a dream, they are very expert in enjoying this dream. And so, instead of acquiring knowledge, they become more and more implicated in their dreamland. They conclude that as a child is simply the result of sexual intercourse between man and woman, this world is born without any soul. For them, it is only a combination of matter that has produced the living entities, and there is no question of the existence of the soul. As many living creatures come out from the perspiration and from a dead body without any cause, the whole living world has come out of the material combinations of the cosmic manifestation. Therefore, material nature is the cause of this manifestation, and there is no other cause. They do not believe in the words of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Maya dakshina prakriti suichesa karakaranam. Under my direction, the whole material world is moving. In other words, among the demons, there is no perfect knowledge of creation of the world. Every one of them has some particular theory of his own. According to them, the one interpretation of the scriptures is as good as another, for they do not believe in a standard understanding of the spiritual injunctions. Omagina Taramanda Shah Jananjana Shalaikaya Shakshu Militamina Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutalesh Marishi Param Swami Jayamane Jai Shri Krishna Jai Tanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it's actually it's in the introduction. Srila Prabhupada, he gives it very nice for us to understand. He explains there's the 5 subject matters of the Bhagavad Gita, which are the jiva, the living entity, the spirit, yourself as a spirit soul, the supreme Lord, the Ishvara, Prakriti, material nature, and Kala, time. And also the last one is karma. Karma's that's temporary. The rest of them are all ultimately eternal. So the Bhagavad Gita, it's a science. It's actually Krishna consciousness is a science. It's not just a religion. It's not just rules and laws. It's the higher side of religious principles. It's Sanatana Dharma, which is to understand your identity. First of all, is understanding it, the difference between the body and the soul. That this body is just a vehicle. It belongs to Krishna. Actually, the body belongs to God. The soul belongs to God, ourselves. But we're given free will in this world. We're given free will. Hare Krishna, you can sit outside if you like. Hare Krishna. We're given free will, and that's our great fortune, is to make the choice ultimately to search out, become thoughtful, because this body is temporary. And that's what the Bhagavad Gita explains, actually. There's a higher knowledge beyond this temporary body. These last chapters, this Bhagavad Gita's got 18 chapters, and the last 6 are quite technical. And obviously we're in the last 6 chapters here. And this divine demoniac nature is quite interesting in this chapter. I'll get to that in a minute, because the previous chapter was chapter 15, the yoga of the Supreme Person. All right. And so in the yoga of the Supreme Person, Krishna explains there's a banyan tree. A banyan tree that's actually upside down. The material world's like a banyan tree, and its roots are upwards and the branches are downwards. And with a banyan tree, when it grows, it goes into the ground. The branches do, and then it grows another trunk, and it carries on growing. So it's hard to find. The material world is actually. It's hard to find the cause. It's hard to find on a normal level is how did I come here, and how to get out. So it actually, So the banyan tree in the 15th chapter is given the an example of how caught up we are in the material world, because the material world's a difficult place to come from, to actually get back home. So the Bhagavad Gita gives us the directions. And now the 16th chapter talks about the lower branches of the banyan tree, because it's talking about divine and demoniac natures. And in the first three texts of the 16th chapter, it talks about the divine natures of the living entity, divine qualities, which are these divine qualities, and they actually, and those are the first three, but the rest of it, the rest of the 21 verses, or the last 16 verses, they actually talk about the demoniac natures. And so this actual text 8, it says, they say there is in this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced a sex desire and has no cause other than lust. This is given a good example of like the scientists and the leaders of the atheistic leaders. They try to take away God's control and out of envy, and they say the world is unreal. But actually, we understand in the Vedic authority, in the Bhagavad Gita explains this world is real in the way it's actually real, but it's temporary. It's not eternal, this material world. This is Krishna's material energy. And the material world is actually here for a purpose. It's a prison house in a way. It's the prison house of for the conditioned soul who's turned away from the Lord to get reformed. And that's what prisons are for, is reformation. So it's actually and they say there's no foundation. There's no foundation here. That's what the scientists say. It comes from nothing. There's a big bang, and everything is put into motion. But we understand that actually there's a creator. This world is created, and it's created by a much higher intelligence. And even Krishna himself, the Supreme Lord himself doesn't have to get too involved in the material world, because he doesn't need to get his hands dirty. It works under his direction, as it's explained in one of the end of this purport. Maya dakshena prakriti suyachesa karakaranam hituinu kuntiya jagadavipravartante. Krishna explains in the 9th chapter that this material nature it's working under my direction. It's producing all moving and non-moving beings, and by the material energy, but by its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So the Lord doesn't have to get too involved. He just glances into the material nature, and then he impregnates it through his energies, through time, through the living entity, the activities. So now they say there's no God in control. Everything happens by chance. That's one of the other things it's actually explained by one of the demoniac natures. The main differences between the divine and the demoniac is, I'm not saying I'm divine, I'm saying when I read this earlier, obviously, when you read the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it's a bit embarrassing, because you just see your own qualities in there, a lot of the bad stuff. But the difference between the divine and demoniac is the divine will take instruction. They'll follow guidance of scriptural authority. But the demoniac will not take guidance of higher spiritual authority. But not blindly, of course. There's a process. But there's many scriptures of old as well. There was Manu Samhita. Manu is the father of mankind, the son of Lord Brahma. And he gave scriptures to guide the human beings, how to conduct dharma and to stay stable in society, and not go to animal life, because this human form of life, Srila Prabhupada explains the human form of life is very, very important. There's many different species throughout the different planetary systems, 8,400,000 different species. And the human form is quite a rare form, because in the human form you have the ability to question, what's it about? Where am I? Who put that sun up there? Why does the seasons change? Or more like, who am I? What is this place? And where am I going next? I cannot take it all with me. I cannot take all this. No matter how much I accumulate in this world, no matter how much the good karma brings, with the good job and the good money or whatever, we do our duty, but we can't take it with us. It doesn't belong to us. Ishwarashamidam sarvam yakinchat jagatam jagat tina traktina punjita magriha. That everything animate and inanimate is controlled by the Supreme Lord. And one should therefore not take more than what belongs to them. Understanding that actually one only should take their quota in this world. Because actually everything belongs to Krishna. And the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, as they say in the Bible. And that's... So we should appreciate, actually through reading the Bhagavad Gita, we come to understand that we should use our free will. Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Shri Gauranitai Ki Jai. We should use our given free will to get back and link and yoke through bhakti yoga, through devotion, to yoke our consciousness with Krishna through the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. That's the prescribed yogya for this age, is to chant God's names. Because in Satya Yuga there's the 4 yugas, the golden age, the silver age, the bronze age, and now we're in the iron age. And in the golden age they would meditate for thousands of years. In Satya Yuga they lived for 100,000 years, so they could meditate for 60,000 years, something like that. And then in Treta Yuga it was sacrifice, yagyas, big fire sacrifice, millions of tons of gold offered. And in Dwapara Yuga, deity worshiping the Lord, the form of the deity. And in this age, in Kali Yuga, because it's even difficult to get to the temple sometimes and see the Lord, but one can chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because Krishna and his name are non-different. The name is very merciful. Krishna explains, if you chant Hare Krishna, he'll give you a great fortune of being with you if you chant sincerely. I'm telling this to myself, actually. My chant is not so good sometimes, but Prabhupada says we should chant to hear. We should chant names of Krishna. Krishna means all attractive, the all attractive, and Rama means the reservoir of pleasure. And Hari is the Lord's energy, Hari. So this 16 words, this sound vibration, Prabhupada explains it's the quickest way to become purified, internally purified. So we have great chance in Kali Yuga, in this difficult age, this age of quarrel, where everything's fallen apart. And at the moment, the way the planets are aligned, I'm not an astrologer, but everything's going on in this world. Either it's happiness, distress, hot, cold, winter, summer. But the way things are at the moment, they're certainly coming to a bit more of a crunch, and it's a bit of a wake-up time for sure. It's a good time. It seems a tough time, but this is a good introspective time. This is the time when the one who has inner knowledge, which we all do, this is when you start to, it helps us, pushes us to question. Like in Kali Yuga, this age, it's full of problems. And but one good thing about this age, it gives you the ability, if you've got some God-given intelligence, to question, why is this happening? Wait a minute, who am I? One day I've got to leave this world, whether it's now or in 100 years. So it's also, this is good, these pushes towards self-realization, because sometimes we're sitting on the fence in our lives, and we're too laid back. And it's a very good opportunity. So Kirtanya Sada Hari, to always chant the holy name of the Lord. And preparation for going back home, going closer to the Lord, and going back, not having to return to this material world. There are good things in this world, of course, but they're very temporary. But they're actually Krishna's energy, and our longing is actually to be with Krishna, with our original Father, because we're out of touch. We're sparks from the fire, and when the spark's out of the fire, he gets cold, and we're losing our glare. But actually, when you chant Hare Krishna, you start to get the spark back again. It's the heartbeat of the soul, gets the heat going and get you connected. Otherwise, it's a lonely old world, isn't it? I mean, it's a dark place. Prabhupada says this world's a dark place. I don't have to tell you that. I mean, we can all find out for ourselves. But that's not just the catalyst to get us to God. One could use their intelligence, of course. Even the most intelligent person, which is very rare, they see they have all the health, all the wealth. They're doing okay, but they know one day they have to step away from this place. So that's the most important question. Prabhupada explains that the most important lesson is preparation. Is you do the PhDs and all the studying and work so hard. We should work, but not work like a donkey for material benefit. But we should work hard for the Lord. Endeavor, not through works, but endeavor, surrender in some way, or give our time or some donation, or if we can't do that, give our energy a little bit through chanting. If we can't do that, read on the Lord or pray, at least something. And then just that one step, Krishna will take 10. Yeyatamam prapanyanti tamsa devam bhajamiham. As you approach me, I'll reward you accordingly. So Krishna sees our good side, of course. The Lord knows us very well, Krishna. And even the demigods is parts and parcels, is limbs that they all can see us and what our shortcomings are. In Krishna, the Supreme Lord himself, he sees the good. So he sees this little child kicking and screaming. But when the child calls upon the Father, then Krishna gives us the greatest benefit, because he's looking for the good. And he wants us to come back more than we want to. We're down here, we're the ones with the who stepped away, we're turning away. But he's so merciful, he's trying to bring us back. But we have free will. He can't make us love him. We have to come to that. We have to find that in ourselves, and that's the excitement and the pastimes of the Lord is that we, of course, voluntary and selflessly and want to serve. Because that's the original constitutional position, is actually we're all servants of Krishna. We're all servants of God. We're Jiva Sarupya Hare Krishnaya Nichadas. We're servants of the Lord. Not just servants of our own senses and our own sense gratification, which we do. We're conditioned souls, but we need to dovetail it, try and replace it through chanting, and Krishna helps us. He'll help us to come closer through his mercy. It's actually, we're mercy cases. We can't really do it ourselves. We're not in that. We haven't got the strength, but we still follow the process, because Krishna's given us a process. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dashyam, Sakyamatmi, Nivedanam. Chanting, hearing, remembering, coming to the temple to see the Lord. Remind ourselves that actually God's not impersonal. He's not just a bright light or an energy. And the form doesn't come from the energy, but the energy comes from the form. Krishna's the form. He's personality, Nam, Rupa, Leela. And only through chanting do we start to understand actually Krishna is a person. And it's through love. So when the child offers his sweet, if the father is there, and the child is, the father gives the child everything, or not everything, but buys him things and looks after him. The child can't really give anything back to the father, but when the child might be chewing his old sweet, and he pulls it out and he offers it back, then the father reciprocates that love. It's very, his heart melts. So that's our situation. But we need to stay in good association. This is the real, because who we associate, we become. And if we associate with envious or, sinful people, we'll become more like that. We'll be too much in touch with our demoniac natures. And that's why, like I say, in this chapter 16, there's much more verses on demoniac nature than there is on the divine. Very interesting, though, because the divine nature's something to practice. It's something to try to aspire. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgivefulness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharat, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. So the Bhagavad Gita has given us, it's of course it's a spiritual process we should chant and with our heart. At the same time, we should read Prabhupada's books because he's given us guidance on the qualities to try to meditate on, to cultivate, steadiness and forgivefulness, and detachment. Because we all get wound up in the matrix, in material life. It's very difficult. We're small souls, we're very small. Mamamsa jiva loka jiva bhuta sanatana manasa sistriyani prakriti stani karshate. We're parts and parcels, we're minute parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, and we're struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. So the mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And in most cases in this material world, the mind's the worst enemy. But we purify it, we cleanse the mind through chanting the holy name and in association devotees, and try to, get the association devotees, try to stay around devotees. We might find some we don't get on with, we might find some that we really do get on with. There's a great variety. It's the United Nations, Srila Prabhupada's mercy. He's brought the United Nations, the original United Nations together. When you sit at the breakfast at a temple and you look around and there's so many different geographical devotees, from different parts of the world, and it's so nice. And we all get on. We've got our center. What's the center? It's Krishna, it's service. Trying to work together towards that service. And then watering the root of the tree. If you water the root, all the branches are taken care of. But we need to do it. It's a participation sport. I tell this to myself. We're not just armchair philosophers, thinking and pondering. You've got to apply it. We need to, chant. It doesn't take much to chant. Chant sincerely and here. Best time to chant is in the morning time, and come to the temple or do some service at home, make some nice bhoga, some cooking, and then offer it to Krishna. Do your offering to Krishna. Patram pushpam phalam tuyam yomi bhakti priyajate. Krishna will take a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, but we should try to offer with love from our heart. Try to scrape through all the layers. I say for myself anyway. There's a lot of layers, and the more you go towards the demoniac natures, and the more we step away from spiritual Guru Sadhu Shastra, the more the layers build up again. That's the way the material energy works. It's a banyan tree, it's never ending. You can't find the beginning, you can't find the end. But if you take shelter of a spiritual master and the devotees, Guru Sadhu Shastra, and take guidance through the holy name, if you're sincere, if one is sincere in chanting, then Krishna gives them guidance through the Guru. And then we can find our way out of the material world, because it's Devi he sagunamaye mama maya darantaya mami vya prapanyanti mayami tam tarantate. This divine energy of mine is very difficult to cross over, but it's got the three modes of nature. This divine energy of mine, consistent of three modes of nature, is very difficult to cross beyond. But for one who surrenders them to me, will cross out of this material world. Krishna explains that to Arjuna. So Sarvadharma Parityajya Mamikam Saranam Vraja Ham Tvam Sarvabhavayo Mokshamima Suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion. Just surrender unto me. Do not fear, I will deliver you. Don't worry about the lower. It's actually, we're all servants of Krishna, so we should, it's made real simple for us. So simple, Prabhupada says it's so simple you could just miss it. So we just, my point on this is, like I say, who you associate, you become. So we should try to associate with the devotees, with those who are practicing spiritual life, to follow in Srila Prabhupada's teachings, sincere devotees, and then we'll become more purified in our association. We got 10 minutes. Does anyone have any questions so far, or anything they want to ask? Hare Krishna.
In the beginning, you mentioned that this concept of Krishna consciousness is not just a religion, but it's a science.
Yes.
So I wonder if you could say a bit more about that, because I've been asked a few times if this is a religion, and I wasn't really sure.
So you want to, so Krishna consciousness is a science, it's not a religion, right? So how could I put it? I'm not the most theoretical, technical minded with words, but sometimes, like, religion is like, your dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. In some ways, and to follow the rules, and just follow. Sometimes people follow blindly. There's religious principles. There's dharma, but the science side, the spiritual science, is understanding, or searching out. Is more like, who am I, and understanding the difference between the body and the soul. And as a spirit, actually, everybody's a spirit soul. We're all brothers and sisters. We're not. It doesn't matter if he's a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew or a Buddhist. Underneath that material body is the jiva, is the atma, and he's individual, and his constitution is a servant of God. Everyone's an eternal servant of God, and the science of the soul is to connect that soul with the Supreme through devotion. So it's a science in a way that you can test it, like putting water into a test tube. Not water, but hydrogen and oxygen, and putting the heat on it. You do the test it if it really works. So through chanting, through chanting Hare Krishna, if you take this knowledge, you read it, if you apply it through application, you can get realization. So it's scientific in that way. It's not just the following of being told what to do. We actually find this out for us through our process of applying the knowledge, rising early in the morning, and cleaning yourself and keep bathing, and then meditating and chanting. The proof of the pudding's in the eating. So it's like that. We don't just follow blindly. I don't know if that helps a little bit. Hare Krishna. Anyone else for anything? Yeah, so, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
I just had a question about like association.
Yeah,
Like, of course, this is Sankirtan, like congregational chanting,
yeah,
and it just seems like sometimes you can't live with devotees and you can't live without devotees.
yeah. So yeah, you can't live with devotees, can't live without them, but it's important to get some association some way. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's good to have time on our own, but not too much time. It's very important, if possible, to try and chant with devotees. And I'm saying that to myself. I only live round the corner, and a lot of the times I've not been in over Christmas, so I'm just chanting on my own. But Prabhupada says when you chant on your own, there's two things going on. You know, lust and, well, sex and money. But you know, that's on the extreme side, of course. But as long as we're striving to be in the association, sometimes it's time, place, circumstance. But also devotees, you find the people you get on with, of course, and we just try to work from the best platform, or say fight from our best platform. If we can just carry on chanting and coming to see the deity and the devotees, then that's progression. It's progress. And sometimes it's just a few steps forward and 3 steps back, and then 2 steps forward. But as long as we keep going, and it's going to be a rough ride, but yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
My understanding is you should aspire to getting associates advanced devotees. Because if you don't get that, then you read scriptures
Right.
and follow the process of sadhana, study, and then Krishna will send you the devotees who need to guide you further on the path, isn't he?
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, every bit helps. Okay, thank you, everyone. So we're going to have Arati in a minute. Thanks for coming. We're just going to close now. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Entourage Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki. Go Premanandi. Hari Bol. Thanks, Srinivas.
You didn't bring the water.
I didn't drink. I had a little bit, but I didn't put it on.
That's okay. I'll put it in the juice.
Hare Krishna. Can I request everyone to stand? And ladies, Mataji is that side, and gents, Prabhuji is this side. And maintain some gap between Prabhupada. You gonna sing now? Yeah, you can sing. Should I change this one?
श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की जय, श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय, श्री गौरानिताय की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। की बजायो जयो गौरचंद्र आरती का शोभा, की बजायो जयो गौरचंद्र आरती का शोभा, जानवी ताता वाने जग मन लोभा, जानवी ताता वाने जग मन लोभा, दक्षिणे नेताय चान थमे गदधारा, दक्षिणे नेताय चान थमे गदधारा, निकाते अद्वैता श्रीनि वसा चक्रधारा, निकाते अद्वैता श्रीनि वसा चक्रधारा, वशी यशे गौराचान रत्न सिंहासने, वशी यशे गौराचान रत्न सिंहासने, आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदि देवगणे, चन्द्रजीनी वदन उज्ज्वला चन्द्रजीनी वदन उज्ज्वला गला देसे बनमाला करे चलमाला गला देसे बनमाला करे चलमाला शिवा सुख नारदा प्रेमी गदगदा शिवा सुख नारदा प्रेमी गदगदा भगति विनोदा देखे गौरार संपदा भगति विनोदा देखे गौरार संपदा शिव जय जय गौरचन्द्रे आरती कशो